Hey, this is David Beckham, Breeze Flippers. It's been a pretty exciting week in a resale business this week. So we have about 27 orders that have gone out so far through today, a little over $800 in sales. So not going to complain. I'll probably do a weekend synopsis of this on Sunday when we ship everything that goes over the weekend. I'm fully expecting it to be pretty busy this weekend. So everybody knows that the last day for shipping Ground Advantage is on the 16th of December. So everybody want to make sure you let your customers know, or you have it set up so that they can order two different ways. Maybe you get a priority mail and such. So, but one of the things I want to talk about today that kind of excited about is the comics I just got back from CGC. So, well, I was excited until I opened them. So we'll go through that and talk a little bit about it. Back in October, I think it was, sometime towards the end of October, CGC had a 10 for 10 deal. Basically, they were running a 10-10 deal is what they called it. So they heavily discounted grading and pressing. So I sent in a total of, I believe, 43 comics, I believe, and had some of them pressed. So the first group, I already showed the one video where the 9 came back, and most of them were 9.8s, and the one was a 9.4. But in fairness, those were variants, and most of them were virgins, and they were in good shape. So they were 9.8. I was pretty sure they were. The next set that I sent in, a couple of sets that were potentially could be anywhere from 7 up. So I researched them and looked and said, okay, well, these books have sold for this amount. So on the low end, if I do really bad, this is the worst I could do. On the top end, if I do good and get a 9.8, this is the best I can do. And then in there, I sprinkled in some other books that I kind of want to just get for myself. And so I'm going to go through and show you real quick. I got 21 of them back today, and we'll kind of fly through them just so you can kind of see. But like I said, I was trying to be smart about it. Now, I have learned a lot doing this. I'm a new collector. So if you're an old collector and you've been doing this for a long time and you go, man, this guy doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground, you're right. I don't. I'm learning. I've read the books. I've read the Overstreet Guide books. I've read, all the different things that I could think of to try and learn about it. So I'm getting better. I think I'm becoming better. And as I got this back, one of the things that I really got excited about was the fact that I was right on some of them, and some of them not so right. So and there are things that I missed that I just didn't notice before. So. But, in the end, not any of these books I'm going to lose money on. I will make money on them and, be able to sell the ones that I want to sell. And the whole point of getting the books that I like is getting the books to sell are the ones so I can get the money to buy the books I want. So, I have a good sized collection and it's growing every day. So the books that I want to get, and I'm working on a couple, runs right now that I'm trying to do, collecting the Batman Adventures, which I love that series. It's the artwork's old, and it's all just really kind of cool, cartoonish like. And then Secret Wars. So I'm about halfway through both of them. I have enough. So obviously I don't have a Batman Adventures number 12 yet, but that'll show up. We'll find it. So anyway, so I'm going to show you what we got first thing. So I sent off some that were, I knew they were going to be 9.8s. So this one right here is a Deadpool number 1, and it is just it's a Mexican, I think it's called the Mexican archival edition, basically variant, and it's a foil. It's just, I'm a big Deadpool fan, and I saw this one, and I think this is a Scotty Young, Scotty Young cover, so I could never say his name right. But anyway, it came back at 9.8. I was very pleased with that one. Another slam dunk that I sent off was the Venom number 23, and again, this is a special foil edition, and it came back at 9.8 as well. So this one, again, it's a kind of a collectible one in the sense that it's an homage to the Spider-Man 300 cover, and just like the Spider-Boy, which one is that? Spider-Boy number 3 has the homage, to the cover as well, and I have that one back there. So anyway, this one's a nice one. It's probably going to end up staying on my shelf because Like I said, some of these are for me because I like the artwork. Again, I collect differently than a lot of people. I do collect some runs, but I also collect some because I like the art. So here's another Venom. Big fan of Venom as well. This is Venom 150. This is a Panini Mexico. Again, another Scotty Young cover, and he's he's very unique in the fact that I do like his stuff. So, but this one came out well. The difficulty with some of these, obviously this is a foil, right? So the biggest problem you have is a lot of times you can very easily see spine ticks and such on this, but this one fortunately didn't. Actually, I see one, and I'm surprised it got a 9.8. It's one of those things where I can't believe it did. So they obviously missed one. I can see it right there on the edge, and that could have happened when they were putting it in the case too. So I would probably never get that one redone. So here's one of the first ones I had, and I've seen this one go for a considerable amount of money. This is a Simpsons Comics and Stories #1, and it's the I think it's Steve Vance story and art, and then Matt Groening cover. But this is the first comic appearance of the Simpsons. So these have sold quite well. Unfortunately, this one came back in 9.4, and it was basically, they said, was a scuff center of front cover and then spine stress lines that break color. Now I see a couple spines. So this one was pressed. So here's my second lesson that I've learned, and I had a friend that I met, and he gave me a lot of good advice that said he would never use CGC pressing. And I think this is why. I feel like when I sent this off, I know darn well that I checked, because especially the black areas on these comics, if they have any kind of an indentation or anything, but this one has 2 spine stresses I can see. They were not there when I sent it off. That's the kind of part that bothers me a little bit. Now the scuff, I think what they're talking about is in the purple, and it does kind of, I can kind of see it maybe now, and it's definitely something I'm going to look for down the road. But that came back a 9.4, and like I said, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to put on them as far as the value. That's definitely not one that I was going to keep, but it's just one I was hoping to flip and be able to get some money back. Now, the upside to this is including the cost of the comics, So I put down how much it actually cost me to buy the comic and then what it cost me to grade it. So the grading cost with the pressing is only about, with shipping and everything, if you add it all together, it's only $32. So that's a lot cheaper than typically what it would cost. And then I'm at the second tier on the CGC membership, so I do get a little bit of a discount, but even so, it didn't come close to that. So the next one I have is the Deadpool #1, and this is the first solo Deadpool comic. So this is the Circle chase, and there are 4 comics in this group. Now I have all 4 graded. I don't have them all here. I have 1 and 2 now, and 3 and 4 is actually hopefully being delivered tomorrow in the last group that I have. This one came back at 9.6, and let's see, 9.6, and the reason why they said was because it had, hang on, dent on top of front cover and spine stress lines. So again, this one's a hard one because this is an embossed cover, so the letters are raised. So one, it could not be pressed. At least that's what I understood. So they would have to grade it like it is. And these have been traditionally hard to get a 9.8, but that's because of the embossing. And if there's any kind of a scuff, I don't know. I see a little bit of a spine tick, but it's definitely not color breaking, and that you could really tell on the black. So I got a 9.6 on it, which is fine. I think, again, the 4 of these were going to be part of my collection, so I'm probably going to end up keeping those for a while, and then, when I get tired of looking at them, I'll put them up for sale. Now this one was an interesting one, and I have on the back, I'll show you that. So I like Vampirella. I mean, I don't read a lot of her stuff, but I have read some. I do like her books. Well, this one I saw and just kind of fell in love with the cover. It's a Vampirella Painkiller Jane #1. 19, I think, let's see, this was Mark Wade and Brian Augustin's story. So it's It's the blue foil edition. Now, what's unique about this is that there is only 100 of them. So I picked this up, and I probably paid a good amount for it. I think I was just around $40 that I paid for the raw. So I had it graded a 9.6 or 9.4. I think it was a 9.4, sold for almost $400. I don't know. Like I said, this one's a pretty cover, and I do love it. It probably will stay on my wall for a while and be displayed, but eventually it might get graded or sent off, maybe sold. But it does have a certificate of authenticity with it. It says that it's only one of 100, so I'm definitely gonna use that as part of it, because again, it's unique in the sense that if you're looking to resell it, it's probably a good one to resell. All right, so I'm going to show you one. I got two of these, and again, one of them is mine. I'm keeping the lower grade one. So I got two of these back. This is Deadpool number 65, and this is probably, I don't know, it's a very popular one because it has the Playboy bunny on the front. It's just cute. Given the fact that I bought an entire Playboy collection that I'm trying to sell off, this just fits right in there with that, I guess. So, but I do love this cover. It's just kind of cool, and it's fun to look at, and it was a good read too. So I came back at 9.8, so I was very happy. The other one came back, I had two of them. I was planning on keeping one and selling one. The other one came back at 9.6, so I will probably sell off the 9.8. Some of these have been selling pretty good. I think the last one sold for north of 150, so I'll probably sell that. So here's my first disappointment. I'll show you real quick. This is the Amazing Spider-Man number 289. So this one is Ned Leeds is revealed as the Hobgoblin. So I think this is a major key. And then the first appearance of the new Hobgoblin, Jack-O-Lantern, and then Kingpin, Rose, and Foreigner appearance. So again, it's a key. So I thought it was going to do pretty well. I mean, I knew it was an older book, right? So I knew there was going to be a chance that even at a pressing, but I thought it was pretty clean. They ended up getting a 7.5. And let's see what they said on this was... I have these all listed out. So this one has a book about it. Stained bottom of front cover. Okay. And then stained bottom of interior back through the book, and then spine stress, the lines on the spine. So nothing they could do about the stains. I guess I didn't really notice the stains. A lot of times in the older books, especially if they've been sitting around, they kind of fade out a little bit. I thought maybe that's what it was, but I mean, they call it a stain. Okay, they call it a stain. I guess it's a stain. I really don't see it, but boy, somebody better than me probably looked at it and can say that. But it's the cover is still cool. It's still an interesting book. It's a 7.5. It probably won't go up for sale. I'll keep that with my Spider-Man collection, but a little disappointing that it didn't come back at least an 8 or above, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. I didn't really expect any of them to come back less than an 8, but some of them did. So this is the Fantastic Four number 176, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think, this is a minor key, I believe. So this one is the Impossible Man and Marvel bullpen appearance, and then the Frightful Four cameo, and then Roy Thomas text on story behind story. So, but interesting cover. Came back an 8.5. And on this one, I think there was a myriad of problems as well, but I believe it said, this is the only thing it came back with. Crease, right bottom of front cover breaks color. So, crease, bottom of front cover breaks color. I don't know, guys. Anyway, if it has a crease that breaks color, I just don't see it. So again, sometimes I don't know. CGC, they're the experts, are supposed to be. I'm kind of looking forward to try and maybe send some books into CBCS, and I don't know. I'm kind of almost excited to see what PSA does, but I don't see a color break anywhere on the front of this book. Now, they say it is, and there's not much I can do about it. Maybe if I'd have sent it off to somebody to have it, done differently as far as pressing, maybe it would have done better. I don't know. but it is what it is. So I'm just going to deal with it. It's a cool looking book. I'll be okay with it for a while. This one is Wolverine #2, and this is a back cover pinup by Bill Seinkiz, I can never say his name. Silver Samurai and Jessica Drew appearance on this one. So I think, again, this is a minor key, but it is a cool cover. So I kind of like the cover and the color on this. Now it got a 9.4, and again, this one is, they said that it was, let's see, what was the damage on this one? Bend left bottom of front cover, and spine stress breaks color. So, you know, I do see a couple spine ticks, but, you know, I would have thought pressing would have pushed out. It's not really breaking color. So again, when you have these dark colored books like this, though, I mean, unfortunately, spine ticks do stand out more than, you know, any other. So you do have to deal with it. All right, so this one was a win. This one is the Web of Spider-Man #31, and this is the Craven appearance. So I hear that the Craven movie is going to be horrible. That's the rumors, but it is still popular, and usually when it's popular, these books will kind of get out there and they'll do well, especially if you have this. But this is the appearance of Craven, and it came back in 9.8, so no issues with that. And this is the part 1, and I believe, if I look, I have part 2. So this one is the Web of Spider-Man #32. And this is also an appearance of Craven. And this is, I love this cover. Actually, I think there's been several of them that have done homage to this cover. So that was one reason I picked this one, just because I like the cover on this, and the story's cool too. So, but anyway, came back at 9.6, and on this one they said that it was spine stress lines back cover. Yeah. Well, if they say so, I can see they're very, very minor. I don't know. Somebody knows better than me. Maybe you could tell me, is there a way, if they're not breaking color, which these aren't, but I thought pressing could take some of those out, or could at least, you know, reduce them. So, but I'm not entirely sure. So this one, the next one, I'll tell you, I'm going to pull the best one out. This one's a little bit of a disappointment as well. So, a good friend of mine now, and you would know him as Mike the Death Pile Picker. He had a bunch of these, and I'm assuming that they came from a closed out comic book store, because I think I have 14 of them. But this is the Uncanny X-Men #256. This is the first new appearance of Psylocke, and then the Mandarin appearance. So this is the first appearance of Psylocke. So this is a major key, and they the thing is, I don't know what I tell you. I picked out 4 of the best, and I mean, we looked at them with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, I got out my little magnifying, you know, glass thing to kind of look at it closely. I really did not see any of the issues that they're saying. This one says it has a bend in the back cover. I don't know. I've looked everywhere. I don't see a bend on the back cover. The other ones were saying that they were off-white. There was a crease on one of them. So one of them I did see, it looked like it might have been creased, but it wasn't creased when I sent it. That's the part that bothers me a little bit, because I was positive that I looked at these and I picked the 4 best ones that had the best white color. You know, it's hard to find, because I mean, this book, a lot of the books were a little bit darker, and I think that was more a part of the printing process than it was, because there was some inconsistencies. I have some books that are raw, that this white part right here looks more yellow than white. So so anyway, I did get 3 of those graded, and it came back a 9.2, let's see, 9.2 and a 9. So anyway, it's still a first appearance, and it may, who knows, somebody may want that. Again, if it's interesting, sometimes people will grab them. This is one of the chances you take when you send in a foil. I just like the cover. Again, this was another one that I had, this Amazing Spider-Man 300, and this is a Mexican foil. So I was kind of hoping it would come back a little bit higher score. I think, though, even in a 9.4, this one has done fairly well in the past. So I kind of looked up some other ones that have sold, and they've done quite well. But this one, it said it had a bend in the bottom left front cover. No, that's not it. They said it had a crease in the bottom of the back cover. Boy, I tell you, I don't know. I sure don't see it, but I mean, if it was a crease, it would show up as a solid black cover, so, or back. So who knows? Again, another little bit of a disappointment. This one I got graded just because I wanted to, and because it's a classic. It's a Marvel Milestone Edition, Amazing Fantasy number 15. Of course, anybody can get your hands on an AF-15. Most people will take basically any grade they can get for that book. But I just like the cover. Always liked that one, and this one was available. It did get a 9.2. I did have one similar to this. It's not the Marvel Milestone though. It was the other reproduction of it that I actually sold off. But I got this one because I was going to keep this one, assuming that it would have done better. But it's a 9.2. Let's see. I got another one right here, Amazing Spider-Man 332, and it came back a 9.4. This is Venom, Styx, and Stone appearance, and then I think Jay Leno and Malcolm Forbes cameo. So on this one, I don't know if it's a minor or major key. I think it's a minor key. So it is a Venom appearance, but it came back a 9.4. And again, it was probably... I'm sure it was spine ticks of some sort. Crease top left of back cover, color breaks. Well, someone will have to teach me where that color break is, because I don't see anything that breaks color. And I know what a color break is, you know. I mean, I know that if it shows white, it's a color break. I don't know. Maybe they have a different definition, or maybe that definition's gotten a little bit more stringent. Who knows? But I really don't see it. Let's see. And the last one. Now this one I thought was kind of cool. I love the cover on this one, but this is Amazing Spider-Man number 430, and this is, let's see, this would be, I believe, it is a minor key, but this is kind of it's got the Carnage and Silver Surfer appearance, and then Thunderbolts, Citizen V Atlas, and I don't know, Techno cameo. So anyway, but it is a cool cover. You know, you got the Silver Surfer on there, you got Carnage, you got Spider-Man. It's pretty cool. So it came back at 9.8. I was happy with that one. So it, you know, you take a chance. It's also a newsstand, so it does help the value a little bit. But that's what we got so far, and that's what came back. And I got another group coming back tomorrow. I have a feeling that one's not going to be very good. So I'm sure we'll have a good look at it though, and I'll post a video probably the first of the week for that one, and then we'll kind of go through and look at it, and then as we go along, I will update you on if in the ones I decide to sell, and then, you know, let you know if they do and how much they sell. Right now is a tough time to sell graded comics around the holidays, unless, you know, people are getting money to buy them for themselves. You know, they typically don't want to spend money on buying a comic, you know, so I expect that sale, you know, will probably be more of them that'll sell in the first part of the year. Probably, you know, when the tax refunds come out and such, so we'll really kind of push some of them then. But, you know, I have a bunch that will be up there for sale, and then, you know, trying to play the game and sell a few so I can buy more and get some more graded. So I'll probably be sending off some more to be graded in the next month or so. I'll probably wait for a while for CGC to get caught up. Now, I will tell you that a lot of people have complained that CGC was so far behind. I got to looking at my numbers, and minus the part of sending it in to be pressed, I sent all of these in on October the 23rd and October the 24th. So I sent off 2 shipments, and I got the first shipment back that wasn't pressed on November the 18th, and then I got the second shipment back. And it went from October 23rd. They actually received it into the grading part on November the 15th. and I just got them back. So, you know, they were right on as far as their estimation of how long it was going to take. So I didn't think it was that bad. I was fully expecting, after I saw their numbers jump up, that we wouldn't see these books back until January or later. So I was very pleased that I got them back this quick. So I can get them in time for the holiday and start, you know, getting the ones I want to put up on the wall, and get the ones that I'm going to sell, get ready to, you know, list those. So anyway, that's what we got today. I was pretty excited to at least get them. If you've never gotten one of those boxes, it's kind of cool. I've never seen anything the way they ship them. They put them in these air bags. They're really cool. So, but you have to cut them up and get rid of them. So you can't really use them for anything else because they're made just for those bundles. So, but anyway, that's what we got. And I'll, like I said, I'll keep you updated on what we get and how well we do with them. And as we go along, I'm thinking the next couple of weeks, as I kind of go along, I'm also going to show you some of the other ones that we have that I didn't have the sent off graded. I actually purchased them myself. So I do find a lot of times I will buy books low value, or at least find good values, and then I'll be able to sell them later. And they're not all ones that I want, but if I can find one that's a decent value, I will definitely get it and try to flip it, because that just adds to the comic money. So anyway, again, it's been enjoyable. This is David Beckham, Breeze Flippers. We'll see you.